Welcome, Ramley. I know it's been a minute, but I'm back and I'm here to give you my take on the 2021 offseason. Stay tuned. Hey guys, I just want to thank you for tuning in. I know it's been a long time since I made a video. Life has just been really hectic. I'm doing great. Just time consuming. Everything in my life right now is so time consuming. I know you guys are watching this video to get Rams content, and you guys probably don't really care much about my life. So I'll make a long story a little less long. Between running my own business, I actually own a dog grooming salon. Me and my wife operate, and having a 6-month-old and a 2.5. Up there she goes. My 6-month-old just woke up, and she's crying right now. It is currently 10:30 at night. I will be right back. All right, I'm back. Sorry about that. But yeah, like I was saying, running your own business, having a wife, 2 very young kids, free time is very hard to come by. So unfortunately, I've been neglecting my YouTube channel. Also, running a YouTube channel, recording videos, editing videos, ripping content off for social media, promoting these videos is a lot more work than I originally expected. Very fulfilling, very fun, but it's definitely hard work. But anyways, enough about me. I'm sure you guys, like I said, don't really care about me. I actually thought about one day doing like an about me video, but I figured, we're here for Rams content. But maybe one day, if that's something you guys would like to see, maybe drop a comment and let me know how you guys feel about that. Also, if you can follow me on Instagram at Rams Superfans, I'd really appreciate it. Please like and subscribe to the YouTube channel as well. I promise in the future I will be more active, especially when the season starts. We'll have a lot more content, a lot more things to talk about. A lot of things have changed since the last time I spoke to you guys. So let's get right into it. The Rams 2021 offseason. As you know, the Rams started the offseason out with a bang with the big blockbuster trade, trading Jared Goff away for Matthew Stafford. I'm not going to get too deep into that. You could go back into the archives and get my thoughts on the trade. You could get my in-depth thoughts. But basically, the one flaw we had on offense was our quarterback. We traded him away and significantly upgraded the position. What more could you ask for? Not really worried about the draft picks. Like I said, go back to my previous video on the Jared Goff and Matthew Stafford trade, and I will explain it all to you in depth. But that was a great way to start the offseason. Phenomenal. Big splash. I think we probably had the number one trending topic in the NFL for a few weeks after that trade. It's very rare. I don't remember ever seeing a trade where 2 major quarterbacks just kind of swap teams like that. It was great to see. It's good to know that the Rams front office is working and constantly trying to win now. But as exciting as that was pretty much the extent of excitement, in my opinion, on the Rams offseason. Free agency came around and we lost a plethora of talent. Most notably, we lost John Johnson and Troy Hill, both players going to the Browns. We had the number 1 passing defense in the NFL last year. Our secondary was amazing. And to lose half your secondary and to see them just leave to Cleveland was very painful to watch. It's going to help the fact that we will get Taylor Rapp back. We will get Terrell Burgess back. So it's not too crazy. Jordan Fuller will be there. So I do expect our secondary to bounce back. Darius Williams will have to step up, which I fully believe he's capable in doing so. So I'm not too worried about it, But anytime you have the number one passing defense in the NFL and two of your starters in the secondary leave, you got to be a little worried about it. Along with your defensive coordinator, it's definitely not the direction you want to go into. But when you got, in my biased opinion, the best cornerback in the NFL and undoubtedly the best defensive player in the NFL in Aaron Donald, you should be good. You'll find a way to make it work. Will we be the number one ranked defense all year? Maybe not. I mean, even if we kept the same exact roster and the same defensive coordinator, that is very hard to duplicate 2 years in a row. So, probably not, but I definitely can see us still remaining in that top 10. Hopefully, we'll see how it goes. I'm not really worried too much about the secondary. We also lost Samson Ebukam, Malcolm Brown, Morgan Fox, Gerald Everett, Josh Reynolds. I was a little disappointed in losing Josh Reynolds, but I expected it. And then Austin Blythe. Now, Austin Blythe, I wasn't too disappointed in losing him per se. I was just a little disappointed in the fact that we didn't replace him with anybody. We didn't sign a center to replace him. We also didn't draft one. So it was weird. That kind of tells me that probably Joseph Noboom will probably start at the guard position and we'll swing one of those guards into the center spot. So, I believe our offensive line will be fine. The thing that I'm most worried about is the depth behind the five starters. After our five starters on that old line, we are very thin. But I'm not the offensive line guru. That's the one position on the field where it's like, hey, does the quarterback have time to throw the ball? Yeah, it seems so. Is our running back finding open holes? Yeah, great. Okay, so our offensive line is doing its job. To me, it's hard to kind of judge them individually, and let alone, players that aren't seeing the field. So that kind of leads me to believe that the Rams have a lot of faith in some of that young talent that's backing up the five starters. I don't know. I would like to see the Rams go out and grab a couple more players for insurance on the offensive line. Austin Ryder, which is the starting center for the Kansas City Chiefs, who was really good in pass blocking, is still out there today as a free agent. I would really hope the Rams go and reach out and sign him. Doesn't look like it's going to happen, but, I could hope, I would really like to see that. We also lost long snapper Jake Mcquaid. Now, normally I wouldn't be bringing up a long snapper, but Jake Mcquaid was the longest tenured Ram on our roster. Anytime you lose the longest tenured player on your team to anything outside of retirement, it's a little sad. That John Fossil is just stealing all the Rams special teamers. John Fossil was the Rams special teams coach a few years back. Really good coach. I don't know what happened that made him want to leave and go to Dallas, but he did that, and he's since taken Greg Zuerlein with him. Now Jake Mcquaid. I think there might have been a few others that he took too. He keeps poaching. He keeps going at it. But it was sad to see him go. He was with us for 11 years. Anytime you lose somebody for that long, it's like, come on, man. You at this point, you might as well retire, Ram. But, wish him nothing but the best. We did re-sign tight end Johnny Munt, which I was excited about. I do believe Johnny Munt has some potential to be the backup to Tyler Higbee. Johnny Munt had a game last year where Tyler Higbee was out, and he really stepped in that spot. I think he ended up with like 4 catches for like 60 yards. It looked really good. So I definitely think he has a lot of potential and could definitely slide right into that backup role, see a lot of playing time in 2 tight end formations. I would not be shocked if he makes a huge leap this year. So I'm a little, I'm pretty excited about him. We also went out and made sure to re-sign Leonard Floyd. Now, if you remember my previous video on, it was a look ahead to the 2020 Rams free agency. The one thing that I guaranteed was that Leonard Floyd would not be re-signed by the Rams. I was wrong. Got egg on my face for that one. But, I was very disappointed that we signed him. And not, I wasn't disappointed that we re-signed Leonard Floyd. I was disappointed that we re-signed him for the amount of money that Shaq Barrett got. For the, roughly the same amount of money that Trey Hendrickson got. These were players that had outperformed Leonard Floyd time and time again. But yet Leonard Floyd is getting paid in the same tier as those guys, which to me is a little mind-boggling. Leonard Floyd, I think he finished the year with, I think if you include the playoffs, it was somewhere around 12 sacks, 12 and a half, something along those lines. This guy got like 3/4 of those sacks against the Seattle Seahawks. When he played the Seattle Seahawks, granted, he did play the Seahawks 3 times last year, and there were probably the 3 most important games on our schedule. He looked like a superstar. He looked like an all-star. He looked like a perennial Pro Bowler. Outside of those 3 games with Seattle, he did nothing. I think he might have had 3 sacks outside of Seattle. Seattle has one of the worst offensive lines in the NFL. So that's not much to cheer for. That's not much to be excited about. And, I'm never that one to put all my stock into sacks on that defensive line. But he wasn't much at getting pressure neither. He wasn't a disruptor neither. Outside of Seattle, he was very mediocre. Mediocre is probably positive. Mediocre is probably an overstatement on how he played when he did not play Seattle last year. I seen that. I thought everybody seen that. I guess the Rams front office didn't see it that way. I don't know. That left me scratching my head. To this day, I'm still scratching my head about it. I just don't understand it. He's getting paid like a star, and he's just not a star. I hope and pray that I'm wrong. I hope, just like I got egg on my face for saying that the Rams would not re-sign Leonard Floyd, I hope I look like an idiot at the end of the season when I'm apologizing to Leonard Floyd for, just having an amazing year. But I don't think that's going to happen. But we'll see. Let's cross my fingers. I hope so. I wish him nothing but success because, we're going to need it. Then in a head scratcher, the Rams go and sign Desean Jackson. Now, the Rams, in my opinion, have the second best wide receiver duo in the NFL, only behind Chris Godwin and Mike Evans. Okay, that's how high I think of Robert Woods and Cooper Kupp. Now, granted, we did lose Josh Reynolds, who I thought was a phenomenal receiver, especially in the third receiver role. I thought he was better than the third receiver. I feel like he could be the second receiver on a lot of teams. I was actually a little disappointed when Julio went to Tennessee because I wanted to see Josh Reynolds as the number 2 option. Obviously, with A.J. Brown and Julio, Josh Reynolds is going to be regulated to the same role he had in Los Angeles, but on a team that passes the ball way less because they got Derrick Henry. So it looks like he's just not going to get his time to shine just yet. Hopefully one of these days he can, though. But yeah, so we have Cooper Kupp, we have Robert Woods, and we just drafted Van Jefferson a year ago. So I figured, okay, we'll let Josh Reynolds go. We'll slide Van Jefferson in that third wide receiver role. And then we go out and we grab Desean Jackson. Now, I used to be a huge Desean Jackson fan. I just loved the way he played. He was so exciting to watch. Everything about it, from anytime he touched the ball, it was just like a threat that no matter where he was on the field, that he could take it to the end zone. Everything from his showmanship to his celebrations, you just loved the character of Desean Jackson on the field. off the field. It was great. I was always here for the show. That was maybe 10 years ago. Desean Jackson has not played a full NFL season since 2013. The fact that we believe that Desean Jackson can stay healthy for an entire season is laughable at this point. He hasn't done it in many, many years. We didn't just give him like the vet minimum either. We gave him a pretty hefty contract. But, I think it could be voided after one season, so it's not too crazy. Nothing to scoff at, It is what it is. I'm not really worried about the contract per se, but, we didn't just throw him pennies. We gave him money as if we're expecting him to really come in and contribute. I don't know how much he can contribute. He's on the wrong side of 30, and he is not the Desean Jackson of old, and more importantly, he cannot stay healthy at all. But whatever, let's take a chance on him, cool. That brings me into the next topic, the NFL draft. The NFL draft happens. As you know, we don't have a first-round pick because, fuck it, we're the Rams. We never have first-round picks. I don't know what a first-round pick is. I can't tell you the last player we drafted in the first round. Was it Greg Robinson and Aaron Donald? I'm not sure. Shit, I'll have to do some research on that. It's been so long. But that's fine. Les Snead has shown the ability to draft talented players late in drafts. That's kind of how he's been able to stay afloat. We drafted starters in the third, in the second, in the fifth, in the fourth round. Every year we seem to get one of those late starters that really come in and contribute. I think Jordan Fuller was the guy last year. Terrell Burgess also contributed a lot. Even John Johnson, who just left and signed a mega deal, was probably one of the best safeties in the NFL, probably top 2, I would say. And he was drafted, I think, pretty late. I know he wasn't a first-round draft pick. I had to double-check that. But I want to say he was probably like a third or a fourth rounder. So Les Snead has showed time and time again that he can find talent late in drafts. So even though we didn't have a first-round pick, I was still very excited for that NFL draft. Until our pick came at number 2, and it said wide receiver. Now, I don't want to judge Tutu Atwell, which is the wide receiver that we took in the second round, because I don't know. I don't know how good he's going to be. Is he going to be a superstar? He could be. You never know. And if that's the case, then I'm glad we took him. You never know how these rookies are going to pan out. But it's just a fact that we took a receiver. We have the one of the best duos in the NFL in Robert Woods, Cooper Kupp. We just drafted a receiver very high last year in Van Jefferson. Then we just signed a vet in Desean Jackson. How many receivers do we need? Are we doing 5 receiver sets all year? Are our tight ends going to be just an afterthought? Sean McVay said our head coach, so we should be running a similar offense. I don't know. I don't know. We have holes on our offensive line. We have depth issues on our offensive line. We just lost Michael Brockers. We lost half of our secondary. I don't understand why we would go with a wide receiver. That was probably our most luxurious position on our team, was the wide receiver spot, and let's just blow our first pick on another one. Granted, like I said, before you guys kill me, I don't know how good Tutu Atwell is going to perform. I know he is the lightest player drafted since 1999 at 149 pounds. Now, I'm not the biggest guy in the world. Pretty average, actually. I'm 5'10". I weighed about 149 pounds, maybe in the 5th grade. So when I see that, I kind of laugh. But, we'll see. We'll see how it plays out. Like I said, I don't like to judge these players too much because just a quick sidebar, when I was really into the NFL draft back when, we had first-round draft picks, this was the year we had 2 first-round draft picks. We ended up taking Greg Robinson, number 2 overall. Everybody in the NFL kind of figured we would because Greg Robinson was so highly rated. He was the next Orlando Pace. I was excited about Greg Robinson. like everybody else that was a Rams fan, we were all excited for Greg Robinson. That hurts saying that right now. My stomach is tingling. My throat hurts. That's disgusting. But what's even worse, let's fast forward to a few picks later. I think number 13, 14, it was a mid-round where our pick is up. In my eyes, we really needed a safety. I'm sitting there telling my brother, I keep telling him, ha, Clinton Dix. Ha, Clinton Dix. He fell to us. We got him. Ha, Clinton Dix, which was the top-rated safety in the draft at that time. Guy goes up to the podium. Roger Goodell goes up to the podium and says, with the 13th or 14th pick in the NFL draft, the Rams select defensive tackle from Pittsburgh, Aaron Donald. And I kind of sighed and said, damn, but we got Michael Brockers already. I think we might have had Nick Fairley at the time or something like that. And I'm just like, man, we could have got Clinton Dix and we got Aaron Donald. Like 2 months into the season, it's like, oh, okay, great. Like, I'm so happy that we got Aaron Donald. If we redo that draft, Aaron Donald is selected first overall. So I don't want to just shit on Tutu Atwell. He could be the next one. He could be great. You know what? Matter of fact, I want to read some stats on Tutu Atwell to kind of get everybody excited for him. Because like I said, I didn't want to just shit on him. I don't want to give you the negative without giving you the positive. He does have a 4.3 speed and averaged 1 touchdown for every 7 passes he caught, finding the end zone at a high rate in college. And when he's facing man coverage, defenders have a tough time containing him, averaging 123.4 passer rating when targeted against man coverage. Basically, when he's in man, he's a problem. At least that's how it was on the college level. Hopefully it can translate to the NFL. In round 3, we ended up selecting linebacker Ernest Jones. I did like that pick. Anytime you get a linebacker that's a tackler, Ernest Jones prides himself on tackling. He's quoted as saying, "I've always had a goal in my mind and nobody can't have more tackles at the end of the game than me because that just doesn't look right for the middle linebacker not to have the most tackles." Anybody that has that mindset has a spot on my team. Go out there and get as many tackles. He's a run stopper. We need that. You know, we already had a pretty decent set of linebackers in Micah Kiser and Troy Reeder. I think throwing Ernest Jones in there could really help out. I know a lot of people wanted an upgrade at the linebacker position. I really wanted to see an upgrade last year. I thought Micah Kiser, Troy Reeder, there's no way everybody's going to just run and have a field day on us. We ended up having the number 1 defense in the league. Pretty much all those linebackers came back besides Samson Ebukam, which Samson Ebukam really kind of fell out of rotation last year. So I don't see much changing. I think we're fine. The addition of Ernest Jones just adds on to that. And, hopefully he could develop into something special. In round 4, we took cornerback Robert Rochelle. He is a wide receiver turned corner. He's supposed to have really good ball skills. We'll see how that is. Very athletic. They call him like he's like an athletic freak of nature, they say. So, we'll see. He'll definitely be put to the test. Also in round 4, we took tight end Jacob Harris. Now I'm really intrigued to see how he translates to the NFL. He's a tight end. He's 6'5", but runs a 4.39. A tight end that runs a 4.39 at 6'5", that athletic ability is probably the reason he got drafted in the 4th round. Because he only caught 49 passes, but those passes totaled for 987 yards. That's an average of 20 yards per catch and 9 touchdowns. For a tight end, that's remarkable. His average depth of target was 16.6 yards down the field. I don't think we've ever seen that in a tight end. Will it translate to the NFL? Only time will tell. And we also got Bobby Brown in the 4th round, defensive tackle. They expect him to play some nose guard. He's not much of a pass rusher, definitely a run stopper. Really big guy, clog in the middle, hold on to a few defenders while Aaron Donald goes to work. I definitely expect him to start the season coming off the bench, and hopefully he can hone in his skills. He has the best teacher in the world right next to him in Aaron Donald, and hopefully he's gonna fill in that spot for Michael Brockers over time. But it's gonna take a while. He's not gonna come in day one and just fill Michael Brockers' spot. But hopefully he gets there over time. Now, as excited as I am for the season to start, I do think we do have a few holes on our team still. I think we need some depth on the offensive line. I think we could use some more pass rush because I don't have faith in Leonard Floyd. When Aaron Donald wasn't at 100% in Green Bay, Leonard Floyd did nothing. No pressure, no nothing. The whole defensive line did absolutely nothing. We need a player that can get consistent pressure with or without Aaron Donald on the field. And then when you put Aaron Donald and him together, it's fireworks. And we don't have that right now. In my opinion, the Rams feel like they do. The Rams feel like they have that in Leonard Floyd. Like I said, I hope I'm wrong. I just don't see it. Also, I think we have a few holes in the secondary. Now, John Johnson left us, and so did Troy Hill. Now, we are getting Terrell Burgess back, and we are getting Taylor Rapp back, and Jordan Fuller has emerged as a great starter. So I don't think we'll miss John Johnson as much. I think his presence will hurt us because he was that good, but I think he can be replaced. Now, with Troy Hill gone, we never really got his replacement. We expect Darius Williams to kind of step in, but we still need that third corner. There's a lot of people still out there in free agency to this day that are without a team, and I really think they could help us. I'm going to just throw a few names out there. Richard Sherman is still out there. Imagine having Richard Sherman, Jalen Ramsey, Darius Williams as our corners. That'd be pretty nice. I know Richard Sherman isn't the same Richard Sherman that, used to terrorize us back in Seattle. But he's still productive. He's been productive all year. Only last year he kind of took a dip due to injuries, but I think he still might have a step or two. You know what I mean? If we could just get him on a one-year deal, see how it works, I'd be very excited to see that happen. Also, Melvin Ingram. I wanted Melvin Ingram from the beginning. Edge rusher. He played in Los Angeles, actually. He played with the Chargers last year. He's always been great. He's been hampered with injuries for the last few years, but you never know. We can just take a swing on him. It might be a home run. To have him in rotation with Leonard Floyd alongside Aaron Donald, that might be great for Melvin Ingram to not have to have the workload of an every down edge rusher. Then you also have Justin Houston, edge rusher, used to play for the Chiefs. These are pretty much all older guys. But Justin Houston probably still has a little bit left, and I would be excited to see him work in that defensive rotation. Imagine having Aaron Donald in the middle, Justin Houston or Melvin Ingram on one side, Leonard Floyd on the other, and just see them go to work. I think that would be the push the Rams defensive line needs to get back to that top-ranked defense. KJ Wright, Olivier Vernon are still out there, two linebackers that are very good. I don't know where they would fit on our team. I'm sure we could make it work with them. But I just know that they're both still very talented players that need a home. And the fact that they're still free agents is a little mind-boggling. It tells me they're probably free agents right now because they want to be. Maybe they didn't get as much money offered to them in the beginning of free agency. Hopefully they're probably banking on some injuries in training camp to make a team, come to them in desperation, offer them a little bit more money than they originally did. But those were players I definitely would like to see with us. K'Wan Alexander, linebacker. He is a tackler as well. That boy is special. He should be on a roster right now. I would not mind seeing him in that linebacker room. Also, center Austin Ryder. In previous videos, looking forward to free agency, he was one of the centers that I wanted the Rams to pick up. I think he would be an upgrade over Austin Blythe. But I'm not sure because the Chiefs, he was the center for the Chiefs. The Chiefs didn't re-sign him, and they actually went and signed Austin Blythe. So while I thought it was a significant upgrade, Pro Football Focus thought Austin Ryder was an upgrade. The Chiefs thought differently. And Austin Ryder is still a free agent to this day. I know he is great in pass blocking, not the best in run blocking. But I do think he would be a good replacement for Austin Blythe. Or at the very least, bring him in, keep him as insurance just in case somebody gets hurt along that offensive line. The last guy that I would kind of like to see in that LA Rams blue and gold would be a fan favorite cornerback, specifically a nickel cornerback, Nikkel Roby Coleman. Yeah, the one and only Nikkel Roby Coleman, the guy who is responsible for bringing us to the Super Bowl with that infamous pass interference call. I love the guy. He's only 29 years old, so he's still, out of all the free agents I named, I believe he's the youngest. We could get him and keep him for a few more years. I'm sure he liked it in LA, and he would come in and fit exactly where we need him, right back in that nickel spot, and do great. But honestly, I don't really expect the Rams to make much additions going forward, if any. I'd be really excited to see Jalen Ramsey's recruiting and grab Stephon Gilmore. That would be fantastic. Not getting my hopes up, though. The one thing I do know is our offense is going to be 10 times better than it was last year. So even if our defense does take a step back, it's okay. Because like Sean McVay said, that Matt Stafford is a bad motherfucker. And he is going to put up points all year long. And I can't wait. I cannot wait for this season. Hopefully I can make it to that new stadium that no fans were allowed in last year. I cannot wait to see that thing. But I definitely want to thank you guys for tuning in. More videos to come. It won't be 3 months until my next video. I promise you guys. If you guys could just drop some comments, let me know how you feel about everything I said, whether you agree or disagree. Let me know. Also, let me know if there's any topics you want me to touch on going forward. And please follow me on Instagram at RamSuperfans. I appreciate you guys. Thank you. I will catch you on the next one.